This is the weapon that allegedly Lord Lucan killed the nanny, Sandra Rivet.
I believe in the suburbs I have found Lord Lucan, the man who murdered my mother.
There's no doubt in my mind that it's the same person in those 7 photos.
Seen for the very first time, and only time, this is the murder weapon used by Lord Lucan to kill his family nanny some 50 years ago. It's believed Lucan intended to kill his wife, but after allegedly attacking in the dark, he got the wrong victim. 2 pieces of lead piping lay on a blood-stained USA mail bag, the mail bag in which the body of nanny Sandra Rivet was hidden after the attack. In the book Looking for Lucan, the Final Verdict, author ex-Chief Superintendent Roy Ransom confirmed there were 2 pieces of lead piping. He recalled how he arrived at the seaside port of New Haven, where Lucan's car had been found. The interior of the boot was a jumble of vital evidence, he said. The centerpiece was a length of lead piping covered in surgical tape, which appeared to me to be similar in almost every respect to the murder weapon I had just seen 3 nights before. When Neil Berryman, Sandra Rivet's son, asked about the evidence some years ago, he was told they had gone missing. Years later, in a turn of events, Berryman believes he has found Lord Lucan living overseas under a new identity.
I'm Neil Berryman, the son of Sandra Rivet. She was the nanny for Lord and Lady Lucan. I believe that Lord Lucan murdered her on the 7th of November 1974. I've been on a 10-year journey to find the man that murdered my mother. I believe, as I stand here in the suburbs of Brisbane on this street, is the man who murdered Sandra Rivet. I would love to bring him to justice, and I believe he lives here.
We need to first go back 41 years to the one picture of the murder weapon, Friday 25th of March 1983, taken by respected TV crime programme producer Sandy Kay, who worked on shows such as Police 5 and Crime Stoppers. Kay, who's now 80, has retired to Spain.
I was doing research in the Black Museum, which is now called the Crime Museum, because I'd got the exclusive rights to film for documentaries that I was going to be making. And it was a Friday evening, and it was March, and the 25th of March, because I keep diaries, have done since 1963. And my partner and I were in the museum, and after 5 o'clock, in those days, the cupboard, the drawers got open, and you would have a drink. And then the curator said to us, would you like to see what I've got in the cupboard? I've got something to show you guys, which he did. And he pulled this out. And this is the American mail bag that was the blood-stained, with also the weapon that allegedly Lord Lucan killed the nanny, Sandra Rivet.
The murdered nanny Sandra Rivet's son, Neil Berryman, has spent over a decade travelling to find out more answers, and after having found who he believes is Lord Lucan living in Australia, took pictures of the newfound suspect to AI facial recognition experts from the University of Bradford, who say they believe the now 89-year-old man in Australia is a match to Lord Lucan.
So I've received these 7 images from Neil, which I've independently analyzed through my algorithm, and they all come out to be the same person, according to the algorithm. There's no doubt in my mind that it's the same person in those 7 photos. Usually when we convert into these things into numbers, we're looking at similarity. We call it similarity index. The similarity index has to be 75% and above. So if it's like sort of below 70, 70 is also okay, it's sort of threshold. Sometimes I could take 70, but in this case, I wouldn't take 70. So anything above 70, I'm very confident. And some of the images that we're getting in the high 90s,
50 years on, and even with mounds of new evidence, the Lord Lucan mystery is still unresolved. Did he vanish? Did he die? Or did Lord Lucan create a new life, which he is still living to this very day?